Many historical accounts claim that religious scholars in the Indian subcontinent opposed the creation of Pakistan. This is a smog screen. To find the actual position of the religious leadership, we must examine data from the ground. Look at the 1946 All India Sunni Conference in Benares. Attendees at this active political event passed a unanimous resolution demanding an independent Islamic state. Documentation shows over 2,000 scholars attended, establishing a documented consensus from the religious leadership. To understand how this consensus built a nation, we are going to track the evidence using a 3-column matrix. We will map the leaders, their specific sect, and their key contributions to the movement. Because these scholars came from highly diverse schools of thought, the only way to accurately read this history is to categorize them by the specific operational fronts they commanded. The first front was ideological. To build public consensus, scholars used print media to articulate the necessity of a separate Muslim state. Maulana Zafar Ali Khan used his daily newspaper Zamindar as a direct platform for the All India Muslim League. He deployed his own poetry across its pages to counter anti-Muslim narratives and energize the public directly. Parallel to him, Maulana Mazaruddin championed the Muslim League's objectives through his 2 major publications, Al-Aman and Wahdat. This journalism carried lethal risk. Following his work in organizing Muslim League committees, Maulana Mazaruddin was assassinated inside his own newspaper office in March 1939. While print media rallied the Sunni majority, scholars like Allama Rashid Tarabi and Allama Ibn Hasan Jarchavi translated the two-nation theory specifically for the Shia masses, proving that the political demand crossed sectarian lines. These Shia intellectuals actively mobilized their community and integrated their efforts into the central leadership of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. The ideological support for Pakistan was a coordinated effort spanning multiple, distinct Islamic schools of thought, operating with a single goal. The second operational theater was the Northwest Frontier Province. Heading into the 1947 referendum, the Muslim League lacked deep roots in this tribal region. The Mashayikh stepped into this political void. Pir Aminul Hasanat of Manki Sharif utilized his spiritual following to mobilize the public and lock in rural support for the Muslim League. Operating alongside him, Pir of Zakhori Sharif framed the referendum for his followers as a decision for the future of Islam. The result was definitive: 289,244 votes for joining Pakistan, against only 2,874 opposed. In Mardan, this mobilization reached the point of direct confrontation when Maulana Midrarullah pulled down a British judge's chair to hoist the Muslim League flag inside the courtroom. Let's test your recall. Which 2 peers were primarily responsible for mobilizing the NWFP referendum victory? It was Pir of Manki Sharif and Pir of Zakhori Sharif. Their ground game turned abstract ideological support into measurable territorial victories for the state. The third front tested personal endurance. Leaders faced political pressure, forcing a choice between lucrative state bribes and imprisonment. When Punjab's premier offered Maulana Abdul Sattar Khan Niazi a bribe of 1 lakh rupees to abandon the movement, Niazi flatly refused. He had previously presented a political scheme to Jinnah. Jinnah told him, "Your scheme is very hot," to which Niazi replied, "Because it has come from a boiling heart." In Wazirabad, Maulana Abdul Ghaffur Hazarvi countered the anti-Pakistan propaganda of the Ahrar Party, dismantling their rhetoric in public gatherings and enduring jail time under British administration. This trust culminated at the highest levels. Maulana Shabir Ahmad Usmani raised the first flag of Pakistan and was chosen to lead Quaid-e-Azam's funeral prayer. Time for another check. Match the scholar to their specific action. Maulana Mazhar Uddin, Maulana Abdul Sattar Khan Niazi, and Maulana Abdul Ghaffur Hazarvi. Mazhar Uddin was assassinated. Niazi rejected Khizr Hayat's bribe. Hazarvi countered the Ahrar propaganda in Punjab. These stark physical sacrifices cemented the cross-sectarian trust required to build the nation under intense opposition. If a skeptic claims the Pakistan movement had no intellectual input from scholars and was supported by only a single sect, how do you dismantle that argument using the data we just covered? Start by citing the Barelvi Consensus at the 1946 All India Sunni Conference. Follow that with the actions of Deobandi leader Maulana Shabir Ahmad Usmani, who raised the first flag in Karachi. Then counter the no intellectual input myth by detailing how Allama Rashid Tarabi and Allama Ibn A. Hassan Jarchavi mobilized the Shia demographic by translating the two-nation theory. Take a screenshot of this matrix. These are your data points. Mastering these names, numbers, and facts forms an intellectual armor against historical revisionism. The creation of Pakistan was a coordinated, cross-sectarian vision, driven by scholars who paid for it with their freedom and their lives.